Birds are fascinating creatures, aren't they? They've got beauty, they've got grace, and then there are the others. The ones that just make you scratch your head and wonder, how did evolution come up with this asterisk? Today, we're diving into some of the strangest, most bizarre bird species on Earth. Strap in, folks. This list is going to be a ride through feathers, beaks, and some truly strange choices of nature. Welcome to Animal Fight Night, where 15 strange birds defy nature's rules, flaunting feathers, quirks, and curious calls across the skies. First up, we've got the greater sage grouse. Picture a bird that's decided it's going to win over a mate by inflating a pair of yellow throat balloons. That's right, actual balloons. The males of this species puff up two big yellow sacs on their chest during mating season, creating a spectacle that's equal parts "look at me" and "I have no shame." And let's face it, the females are probably thinking, is that the best you've got? Still, credit where it's due. The mating display is flashy enough to get the job done, which is apparently all that counts in bird world. As for the females, they build their nests on the ground, hide under some bushes, and get on with their day. Real MVPs, if you ask me. Next on our list is the marabou stork, a bird that makes you think someone gave up halfway through designing it. Giant body, bald head, that creepy neck pouch. It's a Frankenstein of features. Not to mention it looks like it's always just stumbled out of bed after a hard night out. Yet despite that awkward frame and generally off-putting look, this bird's got skills. It's a pro at cleaning up the environment, eating all the gross leftovers no one else will touch. Marabou storks are basically nature's cleanup crew, but let's be real. They look like they'd fit better in a haunted house than on a savanna. Here comes the southern ground hornbill, Africa's largest hornbill species. These big black birds stalk around the grasslands looking for insects and small animals to munch on. They've got a throat that's either bright red or deep blue depending on their gender, because clearly, being able to see that difference was high on evolution's list of priorities. And did I mention they can live up to 70 years? Yep, some of these hornbills outlive most of us, slowly wandering through the savanna as they outlast every other bird who dares challenge them. Moving on, we've got Wilson's bird of paradise. Endemic to Indonesia, these small birds are basically what you get when nature just wants to show off. The males have every color you could imagine, plus a couple of fancy curved feathers just for extra flair. And then, of course, there's their mating dance. Oh, their dance. They clear a spot in the forest, set up their little stage, and break into a vibrant performance to impress the ladies. Imagine peacocks, but with fewer inhibitions and a bit more panache. Now we get to the frogmouth. If you've never heard of this bird, just picture a frog, then add feathers. With its large, flattened beak, it's perfect for snatching insects out of the air, but mostly, it's about that life of camouflage. It spends its days perched on branches, looking exactly like some moss-covered bark, hoping nobody bothers it. They can't really be bothered to fly too much, prefer to glide around, and are pretty much the epitome of low-effort, high-gain. And speaking of bizarre, the dragon chicken. Yeah, it's not actually a mythical beast, but it's got legs so thick that it might as well be. Originating from Vietnam, this breed of chicken has legs up to 10 centimeters in diameter. Legs that look more at home on some prehistoric creature than your backyard clucker. Unsurprisingly, they're a delicacy. And if you fancy some, it'll set you back about $2,000 per bird. For real, this chicken is expensive not because of its taste, but more because of the "hey, look at my dinosaur chicken" flex. Ever wonder what it'd look like if a bird went for full-on avant-garde fashion? Enter the vulturine guinea fowl. It's like nature decided to blend a peacock with a turkey and added a bit of gothic glam for good measure. Covered in blue, white, and black feathers, this bird struts around Central Africa with some serious flair. It hangs out in groups, walking around the forest floor with an attitude that says, "Yes, I am the most stylish bird here." Ah, the kakapo, New Zealand's flightless, overweight nocturnal parrot. They are big, they are green, and most notably, they cannot fly. Instead, they spend their time waddling around the forest at night, relying on their excellent camouflage to avoid predators. It's like evolution said, let's make a parrot, but lazy. Despite all of this, they're charming, incredibly endangered, and have legions of fans trying to keep them around a little longer. How about a bird with a mustache? The Inca tern of Peru and Chile sports a dapper set of white feathers that look like a mustache right above its orange beak. It's basically the Salvador Dali of seabirds, looking stylish while it darts around the coastlines looking for food. Unfortunately, Habitat loss and pollution have put this little mustached guy on the endangered list. It's hard to keep looking fabulous when the world around you is falling apart. The shrike. It doesn't look all that strange, but its behavior earns it a spot here. You see, the shrike has a peculiar little habit of impaling its prey on thorns or barbed wire, just storing them for later like some medieval butcher. Imagine coming across a fence and finding a collection of mice, bugs, and even small birds hanging there. Yeah, this bird may not win any beauty contests, but it sure knows how to make an impression. Then there's the sword-billed hummingbird, which has a beak that's longer than its body. No, I'm not kidding. It's like nature decided it needed to win a longest beak-to-body ratio competition. This hummingbird uses its oversized weapon to feed on flowers that other birds can't reach, so at least it's got an exclusive dining club. Sure, flying with that thing is awkward, but when you're the only bird with access to certain flowers, you're living the high life. And now, the bearded vulture, a bird that looks metal as heck and eats bones for breakfast. This vulture actually drops bones from a height to crack them open and get at the tasty marrow inside. Because why eat meat when you can skip straight to the calcium-packed core? Legends even say one eliminated a Greek poet by dropping a bone on his head. If that doesn't qualify this bird as hardcore, I don't know what does. Ever heard of a chicken that's entirely black, inside and out? That's the ayam kamani. It comes from Indonesia, and it's black from its feathers to its bones. There's something almost otherworldly about it, like a bird from a fantasy novel that somehow ended up in someone's coop. Ironically, its eggs are not black, despite what the myths say. But at $6,000 per bird, who cares about the egg color when you can have a pet goth chicken? The Eurasian hoopoe has got a fan-shaped crest on its head that's reminiscent of a punk rocker's mohawk. With its long beak, it digs into the earth looking for insects, and the wings have a pattern that's more chaotic than coordinated. It's one of those birds you just know has got some serious personality, even if its fashion sense is a little outdated. The rhinoceros hornbill is one of the most striking birds of Southeast Asia. With a massive curved beak and a bright orange horn on top, it looks like it's ready to joust. There's something cartoonish about its looks, like it's auditioning for a role in a children's movie. Despite its outrageous look, it's a monogamous bird, staying loyal to its mate, which is unexpectedly sweet considering its flamboyant appearance. The scarlet ibis is just what it says on the tin, scarlet. This bird's bright red plumage is enough to grab anyone's attention as it picks its way through the mangroves of South America. It's striking, yes, but it's also a reminder of how specialized birds can get. That red color comes from a diet of crustaceans, and honestly, they've made it work better than any lobster ever did. No list of strange birds is complete without the blue-footed booby. With their bright blue feet and comical waddle, these birds from the Pacific are all about using what they've got. And those feet aren't just for show, they're crucial in their courtship dance, where males lift their feet one after the other in a kind of avian fashion show saying, "Look at my awesome blue feet." Yet another bird that uses dance to woo a mate, the greater prairie chicken, is known for its dance-offs on the prairies of North America. The males gather, puff up their orange throat sacs, and do their best to impress the ladies with some awkward flapping and hopping. It's bizarre, it's goofy, but hey, if it works, it works. The scarlet honeycreeper, or iiwi, is native to Hawaii and comes dressed in bright reds, blacks, and whites. Its curved beak makes it perfectly suited to feeding on nectar, making it a vital pollinator in its ecosystem. Unfortunately, like most beautiful things, it's under threat. Habitat loss and invasive species have pushed this bird towards the endangered list. It's a tough life being this gorgeous. Last but not least is the shoebill. This bird's got a massive shoe-shaped beak and a look that screams, "Don't mess with me." Found in the swamps of Central and Eastern Africa, the shoebill stands still for hours, waiting for just the right moment to lunge at its prey. And if its physical appearance wasn't weird enough, it also makes a sound like a rifle shot by clapping its beak together, just in case you needed another reason to find this bird slightly terrifying. So, which of these birds do you think deserves the crown for strangest of all? Drop a comment, subscribe, and stick around. There's always more weirdness to uncover.